Hey, welcome back to DIY Willy. A few weeks ago, I installed the Hyanka 8-inch powered subwoofer in my 2011 Chevy Silverado, and I really liked the way it performed, the way it sounded. Everything was just great. Um, it is still working really good, but Hyanka liked that video, and they reached out to me again and asked me if I wanted to try a set of their ES65 6.5 two-way coaxial speakers. Um, I said, sure, why not? While you're at it, send me the amp. I'd like to try the amp too. And so they did, you know. They reached out and then they sent everything they said they would send. So they sent me the CMUA-AB4A 2000 watt peak power 4-channel class car audio AB class amplifier. And I've already got it installed. It took quite a bit of time to get this installed, so we'll take a look at that right now in a minute. These are their ES65 500 watt peak power two-way coaxial speakers, 6.5. We sent us 2 of them, so we have 4 total, 2 for the front and 2 for the back to go along with the amplifier. And yeah, I'm hoping it sounds really good. Let's take a look at the inside. All right, so here's what I've got inside. I made a little board to mount everything on, covered it with some of the speaker grill or the speaker covering that you see on speaker boxes, and it fits pretty good. I picked up a 4-gauge recoil amplifier install kit because running 2 of these, running 2 amplifiers back here, it's going to use quite a bit of power. So I figured the 4-gauge and then split it off into 8-gauge to each unit would be fine. And yeah, it looks pretty good. I like the quality of the connections. The amplifier bolted down really nice. It's got 4 bolts going in there. It's got a lot of settings here to play with. You got the 4 channels coming in right here. You've got front channel, rear channel crossovers. This can also be a 3-way, a 3-channel amp if you set it up that way. And you can adjust. If you had a subwoofer, you would adjust more control over here for your bass. I'm not going to adjust it too much. I'm just going to leave mine in full range right here on both front and back, because I'll control the frequencies from the head unit. The subwoofer, we already saw it being set up, and yeah, it sounds really good. I'll leave a link in the description to the install of the subwoofer. That shows more of the wiring than I'm doing with the amplifier. Mainly, I wanted to get all this hooked up and in so that we could just demonstrate the power of the amplifier and the speakers. Now, I'll put a little bit in the video right now how I made the board for the amplifier and subwoofer. I'll put it right here in the video. All right, guys, so check it out. I've made the mounting board. The subwoofer will go here, the amplifier will go here. I've got my power distribution blocks, the ground and power right here. They'll all screw into the wood, and I've got my speaker wires are going to come through this hole and go underneath while all the power wires are on top. The board turned out really nice. I like it. Used my table saw to cut it, and my router there to round the edges, and it turned out really nice. That's the first time I've used that router, by the way, and it worked perfectly. It worked really nice to get in there and smooth out these edges. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really nice. So the amp, if we can do this without knocking it over, the amp will mount here, the subwoofer will mount there, and like I said, the power blocks will be here, and we'll run the wires accordingly all through here. And again, the speaker wires, these wires go down through there and out. So yeah, I'm just going to get this covered with that black speaker cloth, and we'll wrap this up soon. It looks really good. I like it. We'll get all the components bolted on it after the speaker cloth dries, and we'll be ready to do the wiring in the truck and put the components in. So I've got the board made, got the hole drilled where I want the wires to go through, got it all covered with speaker cloth. It's a type of fabric. It's all glued down. Don't look at the back side. It's not quite as nice as this side, but this is the side you'll see. I've got some material I'm going to cut and make some little legs for these corners, because it'll sit on the hump in the middle and it'll need something to lift it up on the corners and meet the form of the floor. So Hyanka reached out for me after making my subwoofer video, and they offered me a few more components. They offered me a 4-channel amp. Let's see, what are some of the specs on it? Digital audiophile operation, whatever that means. MOSFET power, that's good. All amps have that now. 4 8-ohm stable stereo operation with output power increase. 4-ohm bridgeable operation for output power increase. Thermal overload, speaker short circuit protection. Soft turn on circuit. Remote turn on. Variable input gains. Variable low pass crossover. Variable high pass crossover, variable subsonic filter, 10 to 50 hertz at 12 decibel octave, variable low pass at 50 to 250 hertz, 24 decibel octave, 0-80 phase shift selector. I usually run 0. Variable bass boost from 0 to 12 decibels, nickel plated RCA low level inputs, LED power protection indicator, black anodized heatsink, remote subwoofer level control. It's pretty nice. What do you say we get the box open and take a look at it? Here's our instruction booklet. We'll make use of that later on. Let's get it out of the box. So here's a look at the amplifier. It's very, very nice. It says 960 watts, 4-channel, and I believe it's advertised at 480 watts RMS. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Connections on one side and connections on the other side. So we'll get it out of the box. Oh, it comes with some hardware here to screw it down. We're definitely going to make use of that. So we'll get it out of the box. We're going to put it on the board, figure out exactly where we want it, and go from there. Hyanka subwoofer, Hyanka amp, recoil distribution blocks, in the process of running the wires. It's turning out pretty nice. I like it. I like it a lot. I lifted it up off the floor about 2 inches, so it'll sit over the hump that goes right here, and this hole will be for these wires running down and back. So as I was saying, I've got 4 gauge. I had 8 gauge ran all through here, and I swapped it out for the 4 gauge because of it's going into a splitter here. Now it runs out 2 8 gauge wires going to the amplifier and to the subwoofer up there. Right there, you can see that. I also did the same thing with the ground. We ran a 4 gauge ground and split it off into 2 8 gauge. So now I say we get to installing those 6.5s in the doors. Hopefully they sound really nice. Got my fingers crossed. What's in there right now are the JBL GTOs, and you know I like them. So let's give these Hyanka 6.5 two-way coaxial speakers a shot, huh? What do you say? Alright, so to get the door panels off, I've shown this before in other videos. I have an install video where I installed the GTO speakers in the door, and that explains more of what's going on. And I'll leave a link in the description for that video to show more about getting these door panels off. And right now I've got my 10mm ratchet. I've got my trim removal tool. I've already got some of the plastic removed, and I've got 10mm bolts to get out, and then all the clips around the edges of the door that we can just unclip once the 10mm bolts are out. Then once we get behind there, there's a couple plugs that we'll get for the locks and the windows. So yeah, let me get these bolts out and we'll get this door panel off. Start looking at those speakers. All right, so I've got the door panel off. I've just got it I'm laying off to the side here. I've got the speaker out. Let's go take a look at those Hyanka speakers. Let's check these out. I haven't even had them open yet. Hyanka, excellence you can hear. User manual. That's good. Yeah, that's nice. We'll definitely get in there and check that out. See what we can come up with. 91 decibels. Sensitivity. Frequency response 50 to 20,000 hertz. Yeah, alright. 250 watts RMS, 500 watts max. There we go. Yeah, there's another shot of it. There you go. There's like some graphs, sound frequencies, some installation information right there. Yeah, let's check it out. They come individually wrapped. Wow, that's kind of cool. And of course they're taped. Warning: to avoid damage, suffocation, keep this plastic away from babies and children. Yeah. How about just grown-ass men that do stupid stuff? That's a nice looking speaker. I believe it's polypropylene. Take this grill off. We're not going to be needing this grill. It's nice though. Not bad. Speaker looks nice. It's got Hyanka on the down there on the speaker. Their brand is, yeah. Looks pretty good. Now I've already got the wires in the truck, so we're just going to screw these in and give them a shot. So it looks like the speakers won't fit in my adapters. I have to remove these little tabs every so often to give it enough room to go inside and mount tightly against the adapter. So yeah, let me try that and we'll get that speaker installed. Yeah, once we remove those little tabs, the speaker went in real nice. Fits real good. It's a nice looking speaker. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other side put in. We'll get the other speakers put in and we'll try these things out. Driver's door installed, ready to go. I'm gonna put the door panel back on. So I didn't show it, but we have the rear speakers. We got the rear Hyanka 6.5-inch speakers installed. This is the passenger side. This is the driver's side. So now we're ready to turn them on and give them a shot. I'm gonna leave the covers off the back so we can see the speakers working. There's one on the other side. I'll go ahead and close the doors though, and we'll leave the door panels on, or door cards, whatever you want to call it. Depends on where you're from. And we'll go ahead and try them out. All right, so let's take a look at my settings. I chose to run the rear speakers on the low pass filter side with 0 gain on the bass boost. Seemed to work out great for me. I've got my high pass, it's set at about the middle. It doesn't really affect much with the being clicked over to the low pass filter. But on the low pass filter, I've got it turned up to 250 hertz. So basically, it's cutting everything at 250 hertz and only playing the lower frequencies below that. I've got my gain turned up to about 3/4 of the way on the rear. On the front, I have them selected to full. I could have the high pass filter, but honestly, I want some low frequencies up in the front too, so the full range selection is your better choice. I've got my gain again about 3/4 of the way up, and I've got my high pass frequency just set about half. Again, this doesn't really apply because I'm on the full selection for the full range speaker system. So that's the amp setup. It's all wired in. I've got everything done here. speakers. I haven't put door panels on, like I said. I haven't put the trim pieces back in, showing the amp wiring. I upgraded to the 4-gauge wire, if I didn't say that before, and the 4-gauge ground. So yeah, let's take a listen and see how things sound. Now I'm going to be playing the same song that I tested the subwoofer from off my phone. So yeah, let's take a listen. Here we go. Now I have the subwoofer turned down a little bit so we can get the full sound of the 6.5s. This is the rear. You can see I have a lot of the highs turned out. Here we go. Let's try it again. So this is got all the high frequencies cut out of the rear speakers. This is gonna fill in the lower frequencies, make the music easier to listen to. Channel, the low frequencies. We'll bring the front speakers back into it. Here's the front. Turn it up a little bit. Wow, that sounds really good. Very nice. Just the right amount of frequency. I wish the camera could reproduce that bass. There we go. Now I think that sounds really good. Let's take a look at where I got the frequencies on the head unit. So we go into sound, advanced, crossover. So I've got the front speakers cutting off at about 80 hertz. I've got the rear speakers again cutting off at about 80 hertz, even though they're on the low pass filter on the amp. And I've got the subwoofer cutting off at about 63 hertz, so it'll play everything below 63 hertz. You can improve that a little bit by jumping up to 80, but I don't want so much of the highs going to the sub. I know it's got a filter built into it too, a crossover, and it only allows so much into it, so we'll just leave it right there. We've got about a 6 decibel octave increase, I guess you could call it. So the front channel's running 12. There's how I like my EQ settings. And yeah, it all runs pretty good. So let's hear it again. I wish the camera could reproduce the sound levels and how they sound. Maybe if I had a better camera. Very nice. Very nice. I'm happy with it. Thank you, Hyanka. Sounds really good. Wow. Really good. All right. Now we can hear and talk. That was the install. That was the install of the Hyanka Aqua Series ES65 6.5-inch speakers. Hyanka, excellent. You can hear. Check it out. So far, I've liked everything I've put in that they've offered up to me to try, and they all sound great. I will say that the 6.5 speakers took me a little bit of time to find the tuning that I liked to where it all sounded good inside my vehicle. Every vehicle will be a little bit different, but I really like how it sounds now. Like I said, making the low pass filter on the low speakers and adjusting the gains worked phenomenal back there, and took out some of the highs. There was really too much highs. My truck has tweeters in the pillars up here, and then again tweeters in the door, so the highs were really crisp and too loud for me, for my personal listening experience. The way that I have it set up right now is perfect. So yeah, thanks for watching, and check out those Hyanka speakers and amplifier in the description, and there'll be links down there in the description as well. Yeah, they're nice. The 6.5-inch two-way coaxial speakers, Aqua Series ES65 from Hyanka. Excellent. You can hear. They're good. They sound really good, and I believe the price is right on those. They have, let's see if I can find what the material is. So they're a high-treated rubber surround, which is pretty much all speakers, and a UV-treated polyester woofer, enabling our speakers to ensure a lot of punishment without any signs of damage. And we'll definitely check that out. We're going to put them through the test, and we'll do a condition test, I don't know, maybe a year or so down the road, and find out how they're holding up. So thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. I hope you liked the sound of the Hyankas, and you check them out. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.